and welcome back everyone, welcome back to another week, another edition here of the WardiTV Monday. WardiTV Monday number 76, your weekly dose of WardiTV action. I'm of course just VIP with you, joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome, one all. Bienvenidos. I see Jonty in the chat, I see Solensvad as well. Psycons, bienvenidos this lovely morning as we aren't often live with WardiTV Mondays at this time, but we have some catching up to do. Daylight savings is right around the corner, which means we'll be able to cover this event live once again. It's been quite some time. It's been quite some time since we've been live casting the WardiTV Monday, but we should be getting back on that in a couple of weeks time. So we have some catching up to do with some otherwise missed events, and we're almost fully caught up. Again, we hit that when it came to covering like Homestory Cup and Rongi Cup and Luli Cup, that all did take priority. But now we can catch up on all the weeklies and catch up on all the live coverage as well. Let us go. For now though, we're going to be jumping into our semifinals. Jumping into our quarterfinals, I meant to say. Quarterfinals match here between two Zerg players. We spoke about this last night, but ZvZs have been a rare sight. Great to see another ZvZ here in the WardiTV Monday. It's going to be best of 3 between Solar and SHIN. Let's go. Let us go. As we're jumping into Ruby Rock for game 1. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the teal Zerg player. We have the South Korean Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Zerg player, also from South Korea. It is SHIN. We go again. It was last night that we were able to cover Solar versus Rogue, if you recall. We were able to embrace another chaotic ZvZ, and that's kind of what Rogue brings to the table. SHIN and Solar, likewise, maybe not as chaotic as Rogue, but we often do see a lot of aggression in the early and mid game. That's kind of what we're leading towards here between our two Zerg players. Hatcheries are being taken, SHIN going for the initial extractor trick, 15 hatchery timing, Solar playing more standard, going for the 16 hatch instead. So from here, we're going to be opening up. Once again, though, we are expecting early game aggression. We'll keep an eye on whether or not we do go for a faster Bailey Nest, Roach War, and Evo Chamber, whether we stay in gas, whether we pull out of gas as well, whether we even claim a third expansion on a map like Ruby Rock. I feel like aggression is favored here, so we'll keep an eye on our players to see how aggressive we do plan on being. But eyes are on SHIN, eyes are on Solar. But again, just quickly checking our calendar here. I believe it should be not next week. Replay cast on the 6th of April. So in 2 weeks time, is when daylight savings does hit here in Australia, and we'll be able to start covering events like the WardiTV Monday and the Kung Fu Cup as well live. Let's go. We haven't been doing so just because they have been starting very, very late over the past season, of course. Very, very late start times have been stopping us from covering it, just because of late end times specifically as well. But now it should be a lot more accessible, more so than previously. True. As that should also influence the start times from some of our other events as well. Yeah, 8 p.m. start time for the Ponka. It's gotta be good. We'll get there. For now though, we are just going to be opening up hatch gas pool. From here we should be taking our third bases as well. Quickly checking here, we have pulled one out of gas for SHIN, likewise Solar doing the same as well. So no one is going into any kind of heavy Bane aggression. Here we're pulling out, we're expanding, we're settling in towards our early to mid game. So far so good. When it comes to ZvZ, again, we have been seeing a lot of aggression, a lot of all-ins. Likewise, Mutaplay has also been a viable option now, more so than previously, just because of the changes to the Spire. Has made Mutaplay more accessible and has made it more difficult to scout as well. Like, it's also kind of a big factor in these ZvZs. For now, the Baneling nests have been thrown down for both players, so we're getting into Banelings and we're playing standard so far. Everything's looking as it should be. We're really keeping an eye open on any kind of massive link flood, any kind of massive link aggression is what we're looking for here from both players. For now, still droning, still saturating. Saturating, building up. We have our first settlings on the way here for SHIN. 8-lings are on the way. Getting his 8 Zerglings. Meanwhile, we do have the earlier Roach Warren. So Roach Warren has been thrown down. Bearing in mind that SHIN doesn't hide it, it is for all to see. SHIN does scout behind the mineral line. No hidden tech for Solar. Solar still droning up and going for a slightly later Roach Warren himself. But for the most part, we're both building up into the mid game. We're getting there. Building up into the mid game. SHIN can apply some pressure. Pokes in, there's a mailing, and it shouldn't get away. There we go. Shouldn't get spent. One drone goes down. Not a bad pickup here by SHIN. Gets one worker. Once again, gets into the main base, gets a full scout, confirming that there is no hidden tech, there's no faster lair, no shenanigans going on. Oh, speaking of shenanigans, my apologies, I missed that. Early Eva Chamber out of SHIN, early +1 carapace. He's going for an all-in. It's going to be a Ling Roach all-in here by SHIN. He's actually going for the Solar build. True. Solar, he did popularize this a couple of years ago. Basically, +1 carapace does apply to, of course, both Lings and Roaches. It is a way to have that big power spike early on and try to commit then and there before we get into a longer game state. So hyper aggression out of SHIN. Solar is playing standard, going into his own gases, into his own lair, into a later Eva Chamber, into Roach speed and +1 range. I mean, Solar, he has the better setup into a longer game, but the game isn't going to last that long. Here comes SHIN. SHIN is supply block. Ooh, brutal supply block there. We have 5 more Roaches on the way. We're going to have Ling reinforcements. Army gets spotted. He knows. Yeah, Solar, he doesn't know what's going on. And behind this, do we set up any spine crawlers? Do we evacuate the 3rd base? So far, he does recognize, trying to get in position. Roach production is underway. Building up his Roaches. Remember, SHIN cut workers at 44. These are basically fake drones. Fake drones here at the forward 3rd, as we have transferred over from the natural. So under saturation at the natural base, making it look like he has more drones than he really does. So the drones are fake, baby. Yeah, Lings poke in. And thankfully, Solar, because he saw the Roaches earlier, he's not been droning. Solar, he cut workers at 54. He still has that economic lead, but he's been making nothing but Roaches. And Solar, he should be able to defend here. It's going to be close, though. Is going to be close. +1 carapace isn't done yet. Ooh, yeah, a bit of an anti-timing out of SHIN. He doesn't have +1, not yet. Does get until the mailings, does focus him down. But Solar, he has that defender's advantage. He has more Roaches, he defends. Yeah, Solar is holding. The longer this goes on, the worse it is for SHIN. Morphing in a couple of Ravagers. Upgrade is now done. But is it too late? We even have a spine crawler. Even has a spine. Yeah, Paling goes up. SHIN trying to force his way in, but again, there are just too many reinforcements. Spine crawler could push forward a little bit here. Ooh, as Solar does push in. Does get hit by the piles, but he has enough. Yeah, Solar, he has more than enough. As you mentioned, he did not over drone. Cut workers when needed to. Did confirm the aggression. And Solar is fine. His army's low, but he has plenty of Roaches. Yeah, plenty of Roaches. Without the all-in failed, it also feel like the initial timing was a little bit off for SHIN. Pushing in pre +1. Oh. The army does give chase, and SHIN, he just doesn't really have much left. Down to 3 Ravagers. Did I say 3? Down to 2. Down to 1. Oh, good. Yeah, nice target firing at a Solar. Does catch every single Ravager. The entire army falls, and SHIN plummets in supply. And behind this SHIN, he had no follow-up here. He's now droning. He's now saturating. +1 range has now begun. We have the lair just now finishing up as well. Meanwhile, Solar, he does have Roach speed. Yeah, he's got Roach speed. He's already got +1. +2 is on the horizon. Solar is looking solid. From here, he could drone, but as we can see here, he's still just doubling down on Roach Ravager. Still doubling down. It's a very fine line to walk here. Solar has to make sure that his opponent doesn't, say, outproduce him economically. It does feel like Solar's just going for his own kind of like quote-unquote counter all-in. Does transfer workers over. Saturates his 3rd. And just hyper-fixated on Roach Ravager, waiting for +2. Waiting for his upgrade. No reason not to. He's still building up. Likewise, so is SHIN. I mean, SHIN is trying to with the limited economy. Massing up his own roaches. I believe Solo should hit before SHIN even has a roach speed. Ay, ay, ay. And Solo, he'll soon pull the trigger. He's sending it. Alright, what do we have? 37 roaches. 37 to 30. So Solo, he has 7 more roaches. He has more ravagers as well. He is, of course, rallying. He's going to have the better upgrades. His +2 will finish up just in time. As he moves out, SHIN moves in, but Solo, he does have reinforcements back at home. Yep, does have plenty to defend. Ooh, another Ling run by here at the natural, though. Okay, SHIN buying time. He's buying some time. But Solo, he still commits. He's still moving out. Oh. Has to respect the ramp. Yeah, no good engage there from Solar. Splitting up his army. Roaches, they try to move in. And so far, SHIN is holding onto the ramp at least, but here on the left-hand side, can he hold on as well? So far, he does take the better fight. Okay. Yeah, these choke points are brutal. But Solo, he breaks through. So he does eventually break through. Pulls back on the right, breaks through on the left. Pushing further in, and remember, Solo's had the better economy this entire time. GG gets called, and Solar, he will claim game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, it did come down to the failed all-in out of SHIN, winding it back. Remember, he did cut workers very early. Was that like 43? He cut workers very early on. He had fake drones at his third base, and he was going for a big +1 carapace timing, big +1 carapace all-in. But alas, Solar, he did drone up further, but he also cut workers at 54, cut workers 10 more than his opponent, and just hyperfixated on purely his own roach production. He did end up scouting, or I should say the early roach warren was revealed, of course, and roaches were revealed earlier from SHIN, so Solo, he was playing it safe. He was playing it safe. I don't think he confirmed the Evo chamber or the lack of saturation, but he was playing it very safe, cutting workers a little bit earlier than you would expect, and just fixating on roaches, and he was able to hold to defend. GG. GG, well played. The game continued after that, of course, but again, in a mirror matchup, if you don't get any counter damage done, like Solo, he maintained that lead. Snowball out of control. Snowball out of control. As we're now getting into game number 2 this morning, in the top right-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the Teal Zerg player. The Teal Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Red Zerg player. The Red Zerg player himself, it is SHIN. Okay. 103 streams in a row. Don't know how much I can keep this up though. You're crazy, Sloans, man. You're crazy. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you've been enjoying all the content, and even if you can't keep it up, it's so good, man. It's so good. That's what the VODs are for. True. That's what the VODs are for. We appreciate the support. As we're selling into our ZvZ. Again, last game was SHIN being the initial aggressor, and we'll see if that trend continues. We'll see if Solar is going to try to mix things up instead. For now, we are loading into White Rabbit. White Rabbit is a larger map of the map pool. Because it's so large, there's a higher chance that we're going to be more economic focused, and then we get into towards the mid game into like 3-base saturation, into roaches, or even into mutas. Not saying that that's guaranteed, but there's just a higher chance of that happening. Let's go. So overlords are being sent out. Again, so far just standard openers. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. We'll keep an eye on our gas saturation once we get into link speed. And then we'll claim our thirds. Here we go. So players are going to be joining. When it comes to White Rabbits, the other kind of big factor here is just how spread out the bases are, which is why Muto play can be quite useful. The third, fourth, and fifth base are all very isolated from each other, and it does make it difficult to keep up with unit rotations. I mean, it does favor the aggressing player, especially if you're able to get like a fast one over on your opponent. In ZvZ, it's more difficult just because overlords are so prevalent. So if there were to be like a split push or a counterattack, there's a very high chance to get scouted by overlords, and a higher chance that the defending player will be ready for it. I'm leaning more towards muted. I'm for now, we do pull one out of gas for Solar and one out of gas for SHIN, so everything's playing standard. So far, so good. Third base is being taken, and we should be going further in the nest as well. There's a nest for Solar. Should be seeing one for SHIN. There it is. There's that base. A little bit later for SHIN. A little bit later, but I mean, unless we do see a Link Flood out of Solar, it should be fine. Safety links are on the way. Hero players are saturating. This time it's going to be Solo going for the earlier Roach Warren. We saw this Roach Warren timing last game out of SHIN. There it is. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, getting into our Roach play. Again, we'll see what is done when it comes to our tech, when it comes to our lair timing. But there's no crazy fast lair. Gas is not being taken. And yeah, we might just play standard. Might just drone, saturate. Get into three bases. SHIN, the first play to go into a lair. Solar like 1 second later. So lairs are on the way. We are embracing a more standard mid game. Here we go. From here, we're taking all 4 gases. We do have all of our gases being taken from both players here. We have no big commitment into any +1 range yet, so I'm still putting the Muta play, the Spire play on the table, at least until we get our upgrades. SHIN does not have an Evo chamber, by the way. There it is. Spire. From both players. Okay, let's go. Solo and SHIN, they throw down their Spires. We're getting into Mass and Muta, and we'll see if anyone scouts each other here. When it comes to Muta Wars, +1 fly. I mean, we do have a. There is an advantage and disadvantage. We're going into +1 flyer attack or +1 flyer carapace. Typically, if you're down in Mutas, carapace is more effective. If you're ahead in Mutas, then +1 the flyer attack can be more effective. But the Spire timings are locked in. They're basically lined up with each other. So carapace would be ideal. Assuming we're going Mass Muta. There is one difference, and that is Roach speed. Gas is being spent on Roach speed, so Solar, this might just be to harass with Mutas, this might not be to commit. I say that, there's no +1 range. True. There we go, yeah, +1 range, okay, he's going Mass Muta. Oh no, the Lings! The wall is open, Lings, they flood in, they catch a Queen! Yeah, Queen is going to go down, Roach is out of position, Drone's going to be falling as well, nice pick up by SHIN. Catching at 1, 2, 3 drones. Very nice. Yeah, 3 drone kills. Gets a full scout as well. Confirms the Mutas. SHIN knows. Yeah, SHIN is fully aware. I believe SHIN, he didn't make extra roaches. Yep, SHIN, he only made 3 roaches. So Solar, he invests into 7 roaches. He invested into roach speed as well. And Solar investing into +1 melee that much faster. A bunch of gases being spent, not on Mutas. So naturally, SHIN has the higher Muta count. SHIN, he's affording more Mutas. Ling around by as well, disrupting the gas mining. 4 drone kills. And Solar's in a rough position. He's in a rough position here. Mutas are revealed. The Mutas are split. And SHIN is coming in. Remember, Solar didn't scout. Oh, sorry, he did. He did. He does know. He's getting caught out there. No! Has to pull away. As was getting caught. And SHIN does have that muta lead, but both players are supply blocked. Yeah, both players are blocked. So I'll slow SHIN down. Soul's advantage is it does have those extra roaches. So he has to be careful. Nice run by. Takes down 3 drones. Solo pulling away. SHIN has extra gas mining here with the faster 4th base. Solo's 4th is delayed. So Solo, he should recognize that he should have less mutas. Solo knows. Solo is aware. SHIN is up by 5 mutas. There are other factors, of course, like spores or queens, but SHIN should win head on. Yeah, the armies are to engage. SHIN reinforcements have arrived. I would have faster reinforcements for Solar, but SHIN should still claim this fight. Oh, they do have different upgrades. +1 fire attack. There you go. Yeah, as you mentioned, +1 fire attack does favor the player with more mutas, and SHIN overwhelms. He overwhelms the army. GG gets called, and SHIN ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. I didn't even notice the upgrade disparity between the players. We had Solo going for +1 carapace, a flyer carapace, which of course makes sense as he had less mutas, but SHIN went into +1 flyer attack, and of course he had the 5 extra mutas as well, so extra damage, did overwhelm. GG. GG, well played. Again, just a really rough start for Solar, not just when it came to Ling run by, but also, as you mentioned, he did spend gas on roach speed, on extra roaches as well. That did hurt him in the long run in the Muta Wars, as it's that much more important to dictate where your gas is being spent. And with that, we're getting into the ace match, getting to game number 3. Here we go. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the teal Zerg player representing Team Falcons being forced into the ace match. It is Solar. And spawning in the right hand corner, we have the orange Zerg player. The orange Zerg player himself representing Team Falcon. Sorry, currently teamless. It is SHIN. Here we go. More mutas, more better. I mean, yeah, for the most part, I will say that there are some ways to recover from a muta deficit, mainly when it comes to fighting with spores, fighting with queens, or being able to incorporate some spellcasters as well. But to do so, you have to be given the room to be able to get into tech up in towards infestation pits and tech up into either infestors or viper tech. But yeah, when it comes to straight Muta Wars, it's also hard to judge kind of where you are in mutas. For Solo to commit to the fight tells me that he just wasn't aware how far behind you. No, he should have been aware though. Yeah, he should have been aware because he also had the delayed 4th. So he should have been aware that he had just had less gas income, less gas mining. But he also had no spore at the 4th base either, so he had to fight. True. The issue there is that if Solar didn't take that fight, he would have lost the 4th, he would have lost anyway. So it was just a really rough position for Solar, as there were no spores at the 4th. Or queens. But here we go. From here, save the openers, hatch gas pool. Welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a much smaller map of the map pool, so the chances that we go into mutas is much lower. Much lower here on Tourmaline. We're leaning more towards heavy Link Bane play or early roach pushes and virtual lins. That is what we're expecting. So players are opening up. SHIN pulls out, so does Solar, so no early Link Bane aggression. calming down. Here we can just calm down, we can settle in. Third bases are being claimed. We should soon be seeing our bathing nests as well. Speaking of. Bathing nests for both players. And we're looking for the Roach Horn timing and the Eva Chamber timing as well. I think there's a high chance we might see another +1 carry base all in. Maybe this time even from Solar. We'll keep an eye on our players. Oh, thank you so much. Yo, shout out to Rudy2D. Thank you so much for the bits in the chat. God, baby, I don't know why no notification showed up. Hold on. It's kind of weird. But thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate the bits. Gracias, baby. Gracias. As we have our Roach Horn from SHIN. As SHIN, his Zergling does barely knock it into the main. Doesn't quite make it through. This is looking very similar to game 1. Very similar. Solo's being a little bit greedier. Focusing on droning, going for a later Roach Horn. SHIN scouts, he knows.
Time to raise your APM.
God damn it, SHIN. Every time, baby, every time. And yeah, there it is. Speaking of, this build looks like game 1, it's just like game 1. So early Eva Chamber +1 carapace. SHIN is going for a Ling Roach all in. And we'll see if he can maintain himself. As SHIN should be cutting workers soon. I believe last time, yeah, he cut workers at 44. Solo, I believe, should be joining up a little bit further. Oh, that's +1 range. Wait, what? Never mind. This is not the same build as game 1. So I assumed it was going to be carapace, but no, with +1 range, that means SHIN is droning, and instead is going to go for a massive Roach all-in, or massive Roach timing with +1, but this will be hitting a little bit later, of course. Does hit later. So from here, we're both droning up, both saturating. Gas is being taken without an Eva chamber. Sorry, there is a chamber. Never mind. I was gonna say without any upgrades on the way. It looks like Spire Tech, and there it is. Spire is on the way for Solar. Now SHIN should be hitting before the mutas come into play, but we'll see if things get in. No shot. Yes, SHIN, he gets into the main. He does get a full scout. He confirms the Spire. He knows. Yeah, SHIN, he knows he's away. Even baits out the bait lane towards the end. Nice pickoff. Roach production should begin. And we need to get across the map as quickly as possible here. For now, waiting for the lair. Oh, never mind. Going for the Hydra Den. This tells us that SHIN is not going to push out. Okay. It is difficult to play Hydra versus Muta. I mean, not impossible, but it's a very slow style, depending on how we approach this. There are two ways to approach this. Either you just turtle up, you get a 4th base, you throw down spores, Hydras, and you build up into lurkers, and you go into like Hydra Lurker Viper. There's the 4th. The other option you have is to go into a strong Hydra timing with your Hydra upgrades and with Roaches, right? You can push out with Roach Hydra instead of Lurker, and you go for an earlier push. But Baneling speed is already on the way. We'll see how SHIN does approach this. SHIN is getting into Roach speed. So on 3 base saturation, Hydras are amassing. Of course, Solo knows he's been scouted. Just now getting to mutas. Solo likewise also have it fixated here on Roach production. And Solo, he only makes a handful of mutas. Only a handful. Good call. Again, he knows he's been scouted. SHIN gets supply blocked. And the mutas at least do give Solo map control. There's only 3? Okay. Literally only 3 mutas. Okay. I mean, he did force a massive reaction, bearing in mind that Hydras are weaker when it comes to straight up engagements like this. Roach Ravager is typically superior than Roach Hydra. The reasoning for this is the micro potential of the Ravagers. They force micro out of your opponents. They're more efficient. They're cheaper as well. And we have 26 Banelings on the way. Oh my god. I mean, this is a way to just shut this down. Assuming Banelings connect. Solo, he's the first to max. Again, he has the cheaper army, but I would say it's more efficient. Let's see, we go. We'll see if the Banelings can get through. Solo, he commits. Banelings are coming. Banelings roll in. They want those Hydras. They bust on through. And Hydras, they force a split. Yeah, force a split away. So far, decent splits with the Roach Ravager just fights head on. And we're going into the expansion. Yeah, getting on top of the base. And from here, Solo just overwhelms. Yeah, he just overwhelms the army. Again, Ravagers once again forcing out micro, wasting DPS. And zoning away the Hydras, the Ravagers even as well. SHIN, he's gonna be able to hold on. Ooh, gets a Queen Wild. No shot. And SHIN does hold at the same time, though. We do have the mutas coming into play, just barely. Catching out a couple of drones. 2 drones going down, 3 drones even. Gas Geyser as well. Solo, he's not done. He's not stopping. So we're just seeing more Roach Ravager. Yeah, and he can just overwhelm, especially with defender's advantage. Just keep rushing forward. Mutas, they try to catch reinforcements as well. And SHIN, he's just running out of steam. He's running out of army. Did lose 6 drones? Like, I think they might have been pulled with the army. Yeah, with that down go the Roaches, the Ravagers, just a handful of Hydras remaining, but again, they're so fragile, they're so vulnerable. Solo gives chase. Gives chase, man. Again, when it comes to Roach Wars like this, Hydras, their real value comes in Lurkers. Like, Lurkers are like a big power spike for the Zerg player. But remember, SHIN, he wasn't ready for Lurkers as he was purely focusing on the mutas. And he overcommitted, right? Overcommitted into Hydras. GG gets called, and Solar, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on into the semi-finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar, he does claim the series. Again, SHIN just getting baited by the Spire. The Spire was thrown down. SHIN scouted. Great scouting by SHIN, by the way. And his reaction was not to go for a Roach all-in, but to go for a Roach Hydra instead. And the problem with that was that there were only 3 mutas. Only 3 mutas were made, only enough to hunt down Overlords and to just pose a bit of a threat when it comes to harassing, but no real damage was dealt. I mean, hey, killed a Gas Geyser, killed 3 drones, but did force a big reaction, and Soul was able to overwhelm with purely Roach Ravager. And with Banelings, of course. True. There was that mass Baneling to reinforce as well. But GG. GG, well played. Soul does claim the series. SHIN is knocked out of the tournament, and we do have at least 1 Zerg player in our semis. GG, well played. With that, we're going to be loading into our semifinals. We're going to be following Solar into his next series against Cure. Let's go. Let us go.